Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today's block is called Rocky Road to California. It looks similar to one we've done. Same pieces really, just different placement. So for this you're going to need, let's move that out of the way. You are going to need your black, white, whatever background fabric. You're going to need two 5-inch squares. Fabric B, you're going to need two 2.5 I'm sorry, there's two there. 6 2.5-inch squares and two 5-inch squares. And fabric C is this one. You're going to need 6 2.5-inch squares and two 4.5-inch squares. I've already built some of this, so we're just going to do one of each square. Because, well, two of the half square triangles. So this we're going to turn into half square triangles. So we're just going to fold it over. And lately we've just been cutting it in half. So that's what we're going to do. Seems to be working well for me. I think I get a better fit when I cut it in half. Even though I don't really like working on the bias. The diagonal. I don't know what it's called. But we're going to do it anyway. So we're just going to leave those lay there. And this we're going to turn into a 4-patch. So we are actually just going to match them up like that. And we're going to head on over to the sewing machine and sew those up. Alright. I'm just going to pull them over one by one and sew them through. If we can get it lined up. There we go. Next one. And I'm doing these first so I can cut them off, because then I have to attach them together. And these we just have to trim. Oh, that slipped on me. Just line it back up. And last one. You could pin these or clip them if you want. I don't like messing with them too much, so I just try to line them up. Or, you know, whatever that was. Alright, we're going to cut our other pieces loose. We're going to iron them open and pin it to sew them together. And you're just going to iron them both to the same side, and it doesn't really matter because it's whatever you want. And then you'll just fold it over so they're opposite. You'll put a pin there. I do pin seams rather than clip them because I find it holds them better. So we're just going to go run a stitch down through that. Now you will have 4 of each of these. You'll have 4 half square triangles and you'll have 4 sets of 4 patches. But again, I've already done some because I don't think you need to watch me do all of those. I mean, you might want to, I don't know, rewind it and watch it 3 more times. I won't mind. Pop one of these on there. That's for another project you will see eventually. Let's cut these off and head back over to the main area. All right, we're just going to iron that open and that's done. Now we have 3. The other one I already sewed my bottom row together because why not? So we're just going to iron these open. And again, I'm just ironing to the most darker side. I don't know. They're both kind of white. So, and we're going to trim these down to 4.5. So we can get a perfect one. So we're going to take this. We're going to lay it on the diagonal. We're going to line up this line on the diagonal. Hold it tight. Slice these off. I always get caught there on the corners. I think it might be my board. I use this board because it keeps me in frame most of the time. But maybe I'll find something else. So now we're going to line up the diagonal again. And our 4.5 inch point down here. And then that should line up your lines on both ends. And we'll hold that down. And there you go. And one more time. We will line up the diagonal. A little off there, but you know, sorry. And then flip it around. The diagonal and the 4.5 inch point, and that will line up everything else automatically if you've done it right. All right, now we have all our pieces made. Let's put them together. So we're going to lay it out. And I already have my bottom piece actually done. So we're just going to lay out the rest. So these form a road with your blocks. These blocks will form a road. Sort of. I guess it's called a road. I don't know. And then your white pieces will all face in, or whatever background color you chose. And then your solid blocks will go in the corners. So now we just have to sew our 2 rows together because we already have our third one. And then we'll come back and we'll pin our rows into the whole block and we'll see what we got. So let's grab this and head on over. Oh, you can see my Christmas apron I made. Very well there, can't you? It's reversible. I love it. The back side is Christmas also. I got them on clearance at Walmart a few years ago, actually. And I love it. Grab our next set, and I just fold the middle one over on top of the left one. And pull it over like that. Line them up. And sew it together. Now we'll cut off our first one and our extra block, and we will grab this block. I almost did it wrong. The 4 square is in the top left corner. So you're going to sew your solid block to the half square triangle. That's why I always have a picture for reference, because I definitely would sew it wrong. Grab our next one. And this time the 4 squares in the middle, so we're just gonna 4 patch, not 4 square. 4 patch, 4 square, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing, no matter what you call it. So we're gonna sew the white side to that. And we'll grab another one of these little square sets. So that. All right, so my power just went out, so I really don't know where it cut off at. I think I just sewed those together. So we're just going to fold this down, and we're going to line up our seams and pin at the end. It's a little over there, but that's okay. Well, actually it's not. My seam wasn't lined up correctly. There we go. We'll line up this seam. And then, well, it's a little over, but whatever. It'll be fine. It's not as bad as it looked. And we'll pin this side. And then we'll fold that up. We're going to fold this over and then just flip it so we can hold it like this. Line up our seam. Hopefully my power holds out for the rest of this video. It's not very long then. And then this one. And then we're just going to hold the beginning and we're going to head over and sew it up. Hopefully my power won't leave me in the middle of sewing again. That off, grab one of these little blocks, snip it off, and we're going to sew up the other side. Guys, I just stood down here in my dark little basement alone. All right, let's grab another one. Cut it. Oh, whoops. Let's run that through again just a little bit since I pulled it. Just for the fun of it. I don't want it to actually come off, so you know, I need it to be a little bit good. Let's iron it open to the top and bottom. All right, and there you have it. It's called Rocky Road to California. And again, as promised, you will need 2 5-inch squares. Mine's white or black, depending on which block you're looking at. B was this one, 2 5-inch squares and 6 2.5-inch squares. And C is this one, 6 2.5-inch squares and 2 4.5-inch squares. Sorry, just need to flatten that out. You'll notice that sometimes when you go back through. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, minus a slight interruption. I hope you make it and love it, and I will see y'all next time. Have a great day.